Hello Darts Nutz, welcome to the Darts Review channel. In this video I'm reviewing another set from the new Harrows range, and this is a reimagining of a Harrows classic, and it's the Magnum Reloaded 97% tungsten. So let's check them out. So I'm reviewing the 23 gram version, and as the name suggests, the 97% tungsten. You can also get them in 21, 22, 24, 25, 26 grams in steel tip and 18 and 20 grams in soft tip, and the retail for £56.85. So the darts come in the new Harrows packaging. It's got an outer cardboard sleeve, and you got another image on the back of this box and a big window showing you the contents. Inside there's a plastic tray holding everything nice and securely, and it comes with a little point holder and also supplied with the Harrows Super Grip carbon stems and a set of the Harrows Magnum 97 standard flights. So it's fitted with a black coated point. It's your classic straight barrel style dart, just a slight taper on the front there, but it's basically a mix of different width rings, quite finely cut, and you might be able to see the light glinting on it, but there's a very fine square cut running through the length of the grip, so that's why it's called the cubic grip. But I think this should be a popular one, this, because it's probably going to suit many styles of throw and grip. Not that grippy overall, maybe just about a medium level, but just a neat reworking of a classic Harrows dart. And it's fitted with the Super Grip in between carbon stems and the Harrows Magnum standard flights. So here's the ultra close look at the Harrows Magnum 97 Reloaded, and it starts with a tapered section at the front with some very fine rings and some slightly wider rings, and then you've got a mix of different widths of rings and bands, and it's got this what it calls cubic grip. So basically it's a very fine lateral cut, square edge going through the rings, so you've got these different, looking at it there, it looks like something out of Star Wars, but you've got these different widths of rings making up these kind of rectangles, so that's hence the name. But got a nice black titanium coating on, and hard to believe it's 35 years since the original Magnums were out, so I think it was well overdue for a re-emergence of this particular barrel. I have a feeling this one's going to be quite popular because it's not, looking at it, it's not too grippy, and it's a straight barrel dart, so likely going to suit a lot of people. But all the way along you've got a mix of thin rings and wider rings, but the main thing is that thin lateral cut, and there's the Harrows logo, so you've got a smooth section on the end of the barrel, and again stem seems to be fitting near enough perfect on the end of the barrel. So there you go, that's the Harrows 97 Reloaded. The dart's fitted with a black coated 25mm point. You've got a tapered nose, mix of very fine thin rings and a couple of slightly wider rings, that's 7mm, and then you've got a wide black ring and a slightly smaller silver ring, that's 5.7mm, and then a mix of double thin rings and thin grooves, that's 8.7mm, and then a slightly wider ring and groove with a silver band, that's 5.2mm, more thin rings and grooves, 6.5mm, and then another section mirroring the two bands with the silver ring, that's 5.2mm, and then you've got a wide band and a couple of thin silver rings, that's 6.7mm, a smooth section on the end of the barrel, that's 5mm, length is 50mm, width is 6.4mm. 23.12 grams. 23.11 grams. And 23.11 grams. Full setup, 24.86 grams. Here's the balance with nothing attached and with the supplied setup. And this is the balance with medium in between short nylon stems and standard flights. Most of the grip is pretty similar, but it depends how it sits on your fingers. Some parts may feel a little bit more grippy, but I would say probably 5.5 at most. It's quite a nice subtle feeling grip this. It's not really initially that aggressive or anything, and your fingers can slide along the barrel fairly easy, but as you hold it in your fingers and you roll it a little bit, because there's so many little fine cuts, you do feel like the edges a little bit, so I wouldn't say there's a lot of grip there, but it's just a nice pleasant feeling. Nice easy dart to throw, release is nice and easy. I think it's probably going to be a very popular one. I'm not holding it on the taper light, I'm holding it just above that, so it's got a fairly chunky feel as well, so just feels just a nice pleasant easy to throw dart basically. And as it's a straight barrel, it's going to suit a lot of grip styles, but nice to see a classic redone. Yep, nicely balanced from the middle. I'm not 100% sure, but it may be just ever so slightly more grippy there. I think it's just because the kind of spacing of the grooves is maybe a little bit more variety in the width, so but again it's just a nice easy pleasant feeling dart to throw. All over the place on that one. Definitely reminds me of a kind of a colour scheme that you see on Star Wars, like that black and silvery colour. A little bit better on that last one, but should be fine for middle grippers. I think it's going to work for all grip styles really. I seem to be getting quite a lot of spin on the race section, a little bit more than I did on the front. And it, like I say, the grip is quite subtle, so for people who've got like deep fingerprint ridges, you may find the little cuts, even though they're so fine, you may find them grabbing into your fingers a little bit more. It's definitely one of them grips that it may feel a little bit more grippy to some than others. Overall, I'd still say it's only around about a medium level, but just depends how your own fingers interact with it. But not throwing too bad there from the race section. That last one, it wasn't straight, but it was smooth through the air, so just goes to show. But like I said, I think it's going to be a nice all-rounder again. But straight barrel darts, they often are. Did you see my hand shaking on that one? Well, there you go. That's the Harrows Magnum Reloaded, 97% tungsten. So definitely one of the highest tungsten contents you can get without it being too brittle and falling apart. But like I say, it's just a classic dart that's been kind of reinvigorated with this new style, and I think it's going to be a popular one. This it's just a really pleasant dart to throw, and it should work for all, whether you're front, middle or rear gripper. Grip wise, initially it doesn't really feel like there's a lot of grip there, but like I say, it's kind of quite subtle, so it may just depend on the individual. Some people it may feel quite slippy, and others they may say it's got a kind of a grippy feel. But I think once the edges have worn a little bit on all them little cuts, then maybe not so grippy. So probably still to be on the safe side and say maybe a medium level grip, but it just feels a really good dart overall. So I'll leave you with the gallery. What have I got coming up next? Up next it will be the Harrows Siege. You probably heard them dropping on the table there. So that's coming up in the next video. I'll leave you with the gallery like I said, and I'll see you on the next one. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do so. Happy darting.